Hello, my name is Jane Fang. I'm a real estate investor and broker specialized in residential investments and commercial real estate. Today, I want to talk about the vacant home tax. So I'm going to use the Toronto website for the discussion. The vacant home tax is basically saying that if you are not living in the properties in Toronto, then you have to pay a 1% tax every year. And the goal for the vacant home tax is to increase the supply of housing by discouraging owners from leaving the residence unoccupied. So what does it mean? Okay. So first of all, if you are living in the city of Toronto, starting today, which is January 2023, you have to submit a declaration to declare the status of the occupancy for your residence. So you can go to this website and submit it here. And remember, you have to do this actually every year, okay? So there are some exemption. Okay, the tax would not apply if the properties are the principal residence of the owners, if the properties are principal residence of permitted occupants or tenants, if the properties are qualified for an exemption. And also, it wouldn't apply if it doesn't contain a washroom or kitchen. So for example, if it's a vacant land, if it is a parking space or locker, then those won't apply. So how it works is everyone needs to submit a declaration, a mandatory declaration of occupancy status. All residential properties owners in Toronto will be required to declare the occupancy status of their properties annually, so every year, even if you live there. Okay, so no matter if it is vacant, no matter if it is occupied, no matter if it is a rental, a principal residence, you have to submit this declaration every single year. And the calculation of the vacant home tax is 1% of the current value assessment will be, which is like, the assessment that you pay for the property tax. So for example, if your assessment is $1 million, then your tax bill will be $10,000 every year. And if your home is vacant in, say, 2022, then the tax will become payable in 2023. Okay, so it is very important that you do the declaration form, because if you do not do the declaration form, it might be possible that for the city to consider that, you are vacant. Okay, so it's very important that you do that and clearly state the, vacancy or occupancy status. So there are several types of occupancy status. So if you are a homeowner and you're living there, then you are not subject to the occupancy tax, the vacancy tax. If you are if it is a principal residence of a permitted occupant, then it is not subject to the vacancy tax. If it is occupied by a tenant, it's not subject to the tax. And if you have a valid exemption, then it's not subject to the tax. So we'll take a look at what other exemptions are. And if you are deemed or determined vacant, then you have to pay the tax. So the important part is some of these exemptions, okay? So a property may left vacant if it is one of these following exemption criteria. If the registered owner is dead, then the property can be left vacant for 6 months or more. If you're doing renovations or repair, you can leave it vacant for the period of time. If the principal residence is in care, if we are doing a transfer of legal ownership, okay, so during those period of time, it might be left vacant. If you are moving to another, like if you are working in another city and your principal residence is left vacant, that is also one exemption, but you need to prove that you are working in another city and a signed letter from the employer on the letterhead or employment contract. Or if it is a court order, okay, that requires it to leave vacant. So these are the only exemptions that are available if you would leave vacant. So the next question is for the snowbird, right? There are, people who may just stay in Toronto during the summertime and go elsewhere during the other months. Or are you considered in the exemption? So according to this document, let's pretend that if you're only staying in Toronto from April to September, okay, which is a 5-month stay, then you are actually not within any of these exemption. Okay, so you are not staying in the residence for more than 6 months. Then there's a possibility that you're going to be considered vacant in your property. So this is something that a lot of the snowbirds, you might have to think about your plan or what you are going to do because of this vacant tax law. So if you need more information, just go to the website in here, and you'll probably want to read it in much more detail just to determine if you are, considered vacant or not. And the most important thing is do the declaration, because if you don't do the declaration, you might be defaulted to be vacant, by the government policies. So thank you very much for your time. If you have any real estate needs, commercial needs, residential investment, feel free to give me a call. My website is janefeng.ca. You can find me there with my email and phone number, or feel free to join my treasure map as well. So every now and then I will talk about some highlight of properties that I like and some of the drawback that they might have. Thank you very much and have a good day.